Oh no, we're live. Tom, what did you do? Oh god. Alright, well, hopefully my copyrighted music won't get me in too much trouble. Alright, let's go again. Now let's set it. So, I hadn't planned to start this early, but I guess we're gonna now. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, baby boy. Oh, look at us. How's it going? Oh man, that's nuts. Okay, well, I had planned on starting this a little later as I was planning everything out, but producer Tom decided otherwise, as it works. Cats, you know. So let me set up the Instagram. I guess we're doing this now. Let me see what's going on. So I am El Pintor, also known as Jaws Blake. How's it going? How are you? What is this life? Where are we? What is going on? I got my boys in the back. And yeah. Okay, one sec. Plug this fella in. And then we can get started on our early morning painter's breakfast. Oops. I love how you just do everything backwards today. Oh, there we go. Some of you may notice that I've got a little bit of a different setup going on today. I've got my crystals, I've got my diving bell, I've got all these things going on. It's probably going to be harder to see on the Instagram because I got to bring stuff in more. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. This looks ridiculous. There we go. I'm your host, Jaws Blake. Welcome to Painter's Breakfast. This is crooked. I'm a little disheveled at this moment. This is Painter's Breakfast. How you doing? How's it going? Hi. Got my clock that's never wrong, twice a day. Got my crystals that, you know, put up that good energy. And my food and my iced coffee from Bevco. How are you? I am Jaws Blake, as you well know, because I've probably said it 15 times at this point. And, geez, everything is just not coming out today. One more time. We're going to move this. See, I normally have like a thing that's like underneath this so it doesn't slip. But, you know, somebody jumped up and wanted to say hi, so it's his show. I'm just a guest star. There we go. Now it won't fall. It's okay, buddy. You want to say hi? Producer Tom says hello. There you go. Everything is falling over. I don't know why everything's falling over today. Okay, so the topic of today is ridiculousness. I don't know what today's topic is. We'll figure it out as we go along. It's not that planned out. I want to thank everybody who's been following the show. We're on like somewhere around 50 episodes at this point. And it's been real nice, real cool, real laid back. I had the Painters Radio Show, which was last night, which is fun. I just play basically a bunch of music and talk the talk and do the things I do. Circle the wagons, draw the pentacles, you know, etc. Yeah, everything's good. I'm just kind of working on some things. I've got some health issues I've got to deal with, so that's fun. But I think I'm okay. So we'll see. This camera just doesn't want to listen to me today. It just keeps falling over. There we go. And yeah, everything is everything, you know? It all goes the direction it goes. So I hope you're well. I hope you're doing okay in this heat, in this crazy, weird, hot moments of existence. Hello. My camera just keeps tipping over. Yeah, Ashley. Yeah, I'm mostly just trying to, I guess, traverse through the day. I've got to go by my favorite comic shop, pick up a book. I like it. So I'm excited to see my boys. I'm gonna try to do some laundry. I'm less excited about that part. Mozzarella, how's it going? So, you know, grown up stuff, kind of lame, but it's okay. Sometimes you gotta do lame stuff, you know? You gotta get all the less fun parts of life done. My big plan for the day is that I'm going to probably just run around and try and get as much done as possible. I need to impress. How's it going? The big plan for the day is I'm gonna try and run about, get as much done as I can. I gotta pick up some art supplies, which it's odd how art supplies work. Like you end up kind of catching more more than you need, but less than you can be concerned with. You know, if that makes sense. There's this aspect of like constantly being kind of made uncomfortable by the idea that you're going to run out of paper and ink, and I don't think I could ever run out of ink, to be completely honest. I've got so much ink at this point. Paper, paint, canvases, time. Hey, Strong, how's it going? There's this aspect of, as an artist, that you're always kind of worried you're going to run out of stuff when you need it. So you end up buying like twice as much as you're currently using because it's just a fear. I don't know if that's a fear that other artists have that work in different forms. Maybe a lot of them just get exactly what they need. And that's it. They don't try to have backups. I don't really have it. I don't really keep it so that I'm afraid I'm going to mess up. I feel like with my own style, as time has come by, I have, in a lot of ways, accepted like the flaws in the creative process, and I've figured out how to kind of rework and redo things to fix things. Like I see the world from a perspective that things aren't symmetrical. Things aren't perfectly round or straight or all pigmented in one way. There's a certain aspect of imperfection that makes us who we are. I think a lot of people get very caught up in it. They want to make perfect art. And that just doesn't really exist. And I know with AI, artwork, and stuff like that, you're getting more kind of symmetrical things and all that stuff. But I mean, I've been drawing people in places for so long. I don't believe that to be the case. It's not a real truth for me. As an artist, have you ever received hate to what you perceive or believe from Empress? Yes, constantly. I think I probably get that more than I get anything else. I mean, I'm currently in a long form discussion / argument with someone in one of my comments that has this they have this concept that talent is related to profit, and I believe in my heart of hearts that you're driven by what you're driven by, and I believe that to be true. But I don't think whether this season is the season of profit makes it successful, because it depends on what your goal is. I think I've been an artist for over 30 years. I've been quote unquote a successful artist for probably around 20 now. And in that, arts, what's going on? And in that, I have come to the knowledge and the understanding that you make art because you want to make art. Like you're on this platform. Most people don't make any money on this platform. Not real money. I mean, you might get sales that bump off of this, but like Instagram is not paying you to be here. And so you do things. Jessica, hey, how's it going? You're here because you like making art and sharing your work. And that's what it's about, honestly. We make work because we like making it. Like the plus is when you sell things and you do all that stuff. Good morning, Zeph. How are you? The plus is when you make profits and like people give you money and they give you praise and all these other things. But like you're making this work because it drives you. I've seen artists throughout the years who follow trends, who only kind of go and try and make work so they can sell it, and they don't really stick with it. There's a hard time at finding consistency in the work that way, because you're just following whatever is popular or profitable, which is popularity, and you can't guarantee a long stable drive on that. You just can't force that to be who you are and what makes you the artist that you really want and feel connected to, if that makes any sense. I've lived my life for so long now that I don't chase these things anymore, because I have chased them. I won't say that I've never chased them, because I have. I think we've all chased like a trend or some type of challenge or whatever on social media. That's kind of how social media works. Everybody's done some type of use this audio or use this filter or whatever. But I think it's more because it's fun. I don't think anybody ever goes, I'm going to use this, and if it doesn't work, I'm deleting my stuff right now because they lied to me. This was a waste of my time. And it's like, we definitely feel like it's a waste of our time sometimes, but I don't know. It's that whole thing where you can't base your self-worth on whether other people see and react to your art, particularly on something like this. because you're not even guaranteed everybody gets to see it. There's this old thing someone said a long time ago, and I quote it constantly, and that is, if it were easy for people to get credibility on social media, they wouldn't sell cheat codes or advertisements or boosts or whatever. And the fact that they sell all those things oftentimes tells you that it's no longer something that happens really organically for a lot of people. I'm not to say that there are not people who haven't grinded for their spot, but I think if you were to start now, it would be 10 times harder. Possibly impossible. Because I have thousands of people who follow me on lots of different platforms, but like 5% of them actually interact. 5% of them spend money. 5% of them share. Maybe 10% of them share. We live in a very voyeuristic world where people like to just kind of look into things, see them, go, and then just move on. And then with the whole case of algorithms and even between algorithms and AI, it's probably even less so. I miss the days where artists would make art, put it in a frame, go from spot to spot to spot, under the arm, ask if they could sell it, ask if they could show it off, do all these things. Like, don't get me wrong, we grinded real hard. But in the process, we had events, we had fun, people got to know us. We were more than this very kind of basic popularity thing. We were crews, we were just so much more than, whether I could get on your top 5 or top 8 on MySpace, It was new, it was fresh. It was a way to go about things, but it wasn't our big thing. Empress. As an artist, I live a different life from a lot of the average people, which is not easily understood, and I realize that I have a specific people that follow me just to hate me because of my beliefs. Yeah, I'll go with that. I think there's definitely art is a continual challenge. Yeah, absolutely. I have spent many a time in my life staring at a blank canvas, waiting to feel inspired. And then I felt other times in my life where I figured out ways to get around that now. And I just make stuff. And sometimes they're like, it's like stretching before running a mile. I do find it funny though that people will try and fight you and argue with you and go about all these things, saying what you do and what you believe are not valid, but they keep showing up every week to tell you. So it's got to have some validity. I think the whole aspect of the AI stuff. Like they try and act like the work that people make isn't important, but it's important enough for you to steal it and try and make money off of it. So it must be important to some extent. You know, you people sample, people straight up steal, people do all types of stuff, and then they'll look you in your face and go, "It's just not that important." And it's like, well, it is to some extent because you're here, trying to argue with me about it, trying to copy it down, trying to do all these things. Like you follow me, you made the effort to read a comment or to make artwork similar to me or to walk that road, you know, of similarities or disagreements, and you stayed with it. So it's obviously important enough that you felt compelled enough to feel attached to it. It's always strange when someone looks at someone else's work and they expect to feel like an epiphany. This like life altering moment of introspection turned outwards onto a canvas or music or play or writing or performance or whatever. And they want to be moved by these other people's work. What they don't realize is it is our self-expression turned outwards. And if it moves you and it touches you, that's incredible. That's amazing that we line up on this invisible tether. But we might not. As I told this one guy yesterday, look, man, I don't know you. I didn't attempt to meet you. I didn't attempt to know you. I didn't attempt to do any of those things. I put my work and my words out there, and you felt, you know, connected enough with them that you wanted to talk and converse. So they meant something to you. And maybe they stuck in your brain and they stuck with those things. But until you decided to come up to me and say something, it's just a Sunday for me. It's just another day in my life. Your argument is something, the argument that you feel up here was a fleeting thing that probably crossed my mind and had come and gone by the time you wanted to go back and forth. I think the deepest, strangest thing that I don't understand for a lot of people is, why do you connect so strongly with the monetization aspect but not the introspection aspect? You know? Like, if it doesn't make money, it's not worth your time. But if it hits your soul, I ain't got time for that. You know? Like, it's just strange. It's very strange. The clock, it does the thing. It's a diving bell. I'm from the Caribbean, so, you know. Keeping it going. I got my beautiful crystal bookend, and I feel good about these things. I think a lot of art, for me personally, a lot of art is visual storytelling throughout history. We are connected to them on an invisible tether throughout time. And it tells like the little stories of the people who existed and how they felt, not necessarily how they outwardly spoke, but how they inwardly felt, and then the reflections of those things. I think there are a lot of people who like to connect themselves to money, and then they put that as like a success, and then they consider that like a well-lived life. But there's something to be said about this is a better motion for me than this is, because there's nowhere to go from here. I can keep going up from this way. I remember my first time I could like draw something from inside my head, from my head to my hand being connected, and like the wiring had finally like crossed the right way, and like that was a huge moment for me, more so than being able to look at something, draw it, and then sell it immediately. Like that just didn't have the same vibe. It was like, well, you got to still pay to live, and I'm like, yeah, but the two don't have to be. Working does not have to be connected to what you're passionate about. Not on that level. Like, fine, you have to pay for these things, and I get that. You have to pay to live. You have to pay for food. You have to pay for art supplies. You have to do all these things. But once you have those things, those supplies, what you do with them doesn't have to be connected with, well, if I use this, then I gotta make money. I knew this guy in art school who would go to the public library, he would go through their dumpsters, and he would grab all these books that they threw away. This is in like the early 2000s. I imagine the practice has changed now. But maybe not, I don't know. And he would just draw these things in pastels in these books. He'd fill them up with figure drawings and imaginary drawings and all these things. And at the end, he would show them people, and he would try to get people to give him donations for seeing his artwork. It was definitely a hustle. But he went to all that effort and all that work to just make something. And like that was a huge undertaking, you know? There's a lot to be said about it. Like, even if he didn't make money, he still kept doing it. He felt connected to it in a way that he felt like he had to do it all the time. And so he did. I mean, he's definitely had a side hustle that was kind of grifting people, but beyond him, it was, he found this way within his means to make artwork the way he wanted to. And it wasn't connected to any type of monetary aspect. I think it came later, but he wasn't beholden to the idea that like you got to make this money in order to make art. He just made art. He was kind of crazy and probably homeless, but he just made art. Something to think about. I don't know where it goes, but it's something to think about. I've got to make some shirts this week. I've got to make some merch. So I'm playing with a couple ideas. I'll probably share them on, maybe I'll do like a sketchbook blog where I talk about some of my ideas on what we're doing, and we'll see how that goes. I'm thinking about starting an LLC. I'm not really sure how all the business stuff works exactly. I've just been painting and collecting checks for a long time and paying taxes. So we'll see. Maybe I'll go legit this year. Who knows? Until next time, Galeras. Be cool, be nice, enjoy yourselves, follow your passions, whether they be profitable or not, and just enjoy yourself. Sometimes the profit is just being happy. We spend so much time and money trying to be happy. And sometimes all we need to do is just, it's more time than it is anything else. Alright. I've rambled on long enough. I've kept you busy. Have a great day. I hope you have a good breakfast. I had a fairly good one. This was nice. I don't have a name for this guy. Come up with a name in the comments. Yeah. Pan out. Ciao. Bye. Oh, yeah, discard video. Why would I discard video? That's crazy. What kind of weirdness is that? Alright. Pan out. Ciao. Bye. Ooh, new sticker.